The real NV87, the blind NV87, the NV87 who doesn't care what the screen looks like. Hi everyone, and welcome to another sorta edition of Driving Me Crazy reaction videos. How do you do a Driving Me Crazy reaction video when the guy that hosts Driving Me Crazy has been doing the weather all week? You find a traffic/weather story. You find something that affects both cars and is weather related, and you talk about it. At least that's what I'm doing this week. Yeah, my local news station's meteorologist is apparently away at a weather convention this week, and the traffic reporter's been sitting in for him. So we haven't had Driving Me Crazy. We've had the same person subbing for the traffic reporter that was subbing for him when he was on paternity leave. And Driving Me Crazy is just not her thing. She was never given it to do, and so understandable, but we've missed Driving Me Crazy. So kind of in tribute to it, at least the weather guy's not out sick or something. If he had to be out, at least he's out probably on a business trip / having a good time. Let's hope it's enjoyable for him as well. But anyways, so what do you talk about on Driving Me Crazy when you don't have Driving Me Crazy? You could just not do it. That's what I've been doing until today. It's Wednesday. Or you could talk about how it's been wet. That's the word of the week, has been wet. Chris just from the beginning has said wet. It's going to be a wet week. Rain in the forecast pretty much every day. Roads are going to be wet. Commutes are wet. It's wet. And it has been. So much so that we've got high water on streets. And, you know, the weather guy / traffic guy mentioned this morning something that the National Weather Service says all the time throughout this kind of weather. Turn around, don't drown. And in lieu of Driving Me Crazy, I guess I just want to remind drivers, if there's high water on the streets, you know, they say something's going to happen come hell or high water. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean something's going to happen if there's a flood on the street between here and there, I'll just drive through it and get to you? And no, you'll drive through it and get hopefully to the hospital before you end up in heaven. Because your car will just end up submerged and you'll be trapped in it and you won't be able to get out. I know you're thinking, geez, talk about worst case scenario. Well, trying to estimate how high the water is when it gets high is maybe not the best idea. Like they say, turn around, don't drown. See the waist-high water on the street and go, geez, I shouldn't go that way. Is there any other way to get to where I'm trying to go? Maybe call your coworker. Do you know of any way to detour? Here's where I am. I'm trying to get to work. The street's like flooded out. Is there any other way to get there? I mean, figure out some way to get there where you're not like driving on a waist-high water street to get there. There's a reason why the roads are closed. There's a reason why if you see a road closed sign, that's for a reason. If you have to detour, if you have to find another route, detour and find another route. Please certainly don't ignore standing water in the street, and don't ignore road closed signs. Roads are closed for a reason, not just to be a pain in everyone's butt. They're doing road construction, the road's too flooded to drive on, something happened, or something's going on. Please heed road closed signs, and again, if there's standing water, high water on the street, turn around, don't drown. In fact, let's check in with the traffic guy and for the weather guy, Chris McGinnis, and find out how bad has it gotten? How bad is it?
So, all right, let's go ahead and get you out the door right now. One completely dry day at PDX. That is not your imagination. It has been extremely wet this month. January 20th is the only calendar day that was officially dry. at the airport where we keep the official records. The most rain in 1 month since March 2017 is what we're looking at right now. March 2017, we had just over 7¼ inches, and we are quickly approaching that. Here's another stat for you. You know, it does rain a lot in Portland, but 7 inches is getting to be an awful lot. And I was looking back at the climate stats, and we've only topped 7 inches just 5 times in the last 5 years here in Portland. And we are about to do it today. And then we're going to add some more to it before the week is done, before the month is done. So right now we sit at 6.94. That's as of yesterday. We're already adding to it today, and we'll continue to do so. All right, let's look at radar over the last 3 hours. Rain overspreading the region. Some cases, the rain coming down steady.
Okay, thanks, Chris, and thanks for sitting in for the weather guy, but I think that's all of your forecast we need to hear right now. But, I mean, lots of rain plus clogged storm drains can equal... Let's take this back to driving me crazy, which is what it was supposed to be. Let's flash back to a driving me crazy we did a few weeks ago. Or maybe more than a few weeks ago.
We'll celebrate with you. Something's driving me crazy.
Yes, Chris McKinnon is joining us now. Okay, what is driving people crazy now?
Well, this one drives me crazy. Why is this intersection always flooded every time I hit this? We live in a part of the country that gets rain. Why is that intersection
They have so many
flooded
dang leaves.
every single time it rains? That drives me crazy.
Do you look? Is there a storm drain right there?
I didn't exactly stop in the middle of the freeway exit ramp to get out and look to see if there's a storm drain there.
Because that would have driven people crazy.
That would have driven other people crazy. Drives me nuts. Hey, PSA, clean out your storm drains, by the way, because obviously we're in the rainy season.
Yeah, there are such things as weather-related road closures. I mean, sometimes they're construction-based. Others, they are weather-based. I mean, listen to all of this.
As you rush out the door, here are the headlines we are tracking. A 3-mile stretch of the historic Columbia River Highway is closed after a landslide there came down on Monday. Crews have cleaned up the actual slide, but they're pretty worried more debris could come down. We don't know when it could reopen. In Yamhill County, look at this. Crews had to rescue someone after they drove into that huge pool of water that was a foot tall. This happened on Southwest Bellevue Highway. They weren't hurt, but if you see high water, don't drive through it. Right, Lacey?
Yes, and that section of Bellevue Highway is still closed this morning due to high water.
Rain today, diminishing late this afternoon with a high of about 51, and more rain back in the forecast tomorrow.
Yeah, pay attention to the road closed signs. Landslides happen, floods happen. If the road is closed, don't try to drive through it anyway. That's my kinda sorta driving me crazy. It wasn't a real driving me crazy reaction video. I don't know what to call it. I think it's safe to say that driving me crazy reactions, the real thing, will be back next week. Thank you for watching. Please follow me on Twitter, or if you must, on Facebook. Check out the description below for services and petitions that I believe in. And I'll see you in the next video when you hear what I have to say.